Hello and welcome to our first episode looking at America during the 1950s. This short video is going to focus on prosperity, so wealth, richness, and how well the American economy was doing after World War II. We're looking at America, so we're looking at paper 1, Opportunity and Inequality in America from 1920 to 73, which you will sit on May the 15th. Let's get straight into it. America's economy was booming after the Second World War, and this is because wages and production remained high. Many Americans became middle class and more people were wealthy enough to support a family, which led to something known as the baby boom, and this is where the birth rate increased dramatically. So from 1945 to 1950, the population grew by over 12 million. We've seen when we looked at World War II, America's economy was doing really well because it was producing goods to sell to their allies to use in the Second World War. Once the war was over, these factories are working very, very efficiently, and they're then reconverted back from making war material to making consumer goods. Just like we had a cycle of prosperity in the 20s, we have a cycle of prosperity in the 50s, where people have been working during the war and earning a wage. That high wage continues, so in the 50s they've got more disposable income, they've got more money to spend on consumer goods like televisions, like cars, and like white goods, fridges, radios, that sort of thing. As I've just alluded to, the boom in the US economy led to an increase and an improvement in living conditions. One area that boomed dramatically was housing, because alongside the increase in population, you simply need more houses. Our key piece of information, our key killer bit of evidence for this is the creation of Levitt towns, and these were purpose-built suburbs on the edge of the cities. Just like the icon shows, people would have a detached house, a nice garden space, and often a white picket fence. And this growth of suburbia is a real characterizing aspect of America in the 50s. Because these huge housing estates were growing on the edges of cities and towns, it led to a rise in car ownership. The fact that people are able to buy more cars also shows how prosperous the American society was after World War II. A piece of legislation that allowed many people to buy one of these homes was the 1944 GI Bill. GI stands for General Infantry, and it refers to American soldiers that fought in the Second World War. The GI Bill helped nearly 10 million veterans with free college tuition and home loans, making home ownership a possibility for millions of people. This improvement in living conditions and the booming economy has led some people to claim that American society was living the American dream during the 1950s. And certainly many did achieve financial security, home ownership and access to modern goods. However, 25% of people still lived in poverty, including African Americans and rural white communities, for example in Appalachia. Appalachia is a part of America, is very rural, and its economy depends on mining and some more traditional industries. These people did not share in the booming economy of the 1950s. Another group that you could argue the extent to which they experienced an American dream were women. Now, we've seen already during World War II, women worked in huge numbers and their status in society increased. However, in the 50s, when the men returned from war and kind of took those jobs back from the women, women were encouraged not to seek employment. They were expected to be suburban housewives, which reinforced more traditional gender roles. So whilst many women did have a home, did have access to modern goods, their freedom and their independence was limited during the 50s. Excellent. That is 1950s America and the prosperity aspect covered off. We've looked at the booming economy after World War II, improvements in housing, living conditions, and the extent to which there really was an American dream. You've now got all the knowledge you need to be successful in the exam, but the exam potentially is a long time away, so we've got to be doing consistent retrieval to make that knowledge stick. The best way to do that is do past questions and look cover test check to ensure that you are secure in the knowledge from this video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode.